It's that time of year to start loading up the RV and heading out for camping season. But before you start hitting that checkout button on that Amazon cart full of RV accessories, you're gonna wanna watch this video. And that is because after 5 years of traveling in our RV, well, we've learned what we really need and what we don't. Now, I know there are gonna be some people that completely disagree with the list that I'm about to share with things that you don't really need. But this video could just save you big time, plus spark some ideas for things that, well, might just make RV life and travel easier, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned. Every year we do some spring cleaning of our own when it comes to the RV, and it seems that each year we find we just don't need all the things that are with us in the RV. So let's jump right in and talk about 10 things we do not bring with us, we ditched them, and why you might want to consider saving your money before you purchase any of these items. So first on the list is non-essential kitchen items. Now, these are things that I like to call unitaskers, meaning they really only just serve one purpose. An item like this might be like a pineapple corer or a egg slicer or things like a melon baller, where you can really get that same job done with a knife and a spoon, and you don't need all of these little things that just take up extra space to do one particular purpose. We got rid of a lot of those. Our kitchen is very, very basic with very basic items. It saves on space and it just makes things simpler. So next on the list is more food than what we're going to eat in our family in 1 week's time. This is actually mainly because I realized we were wasting a lot of food by stocking up on a lot of stuff, and then it gets shoved to the back of the cupboard or shoved to the back of the fridge. It goes bad and we're throwing it away. Plus, when you're in an RV, especially depending upon your family size and what type of storage options you have, well, storage is at a premium. So that trip to Costco may not be the best idea unless that you know your family's gonna go through that in a 1 week period. Next on the list is excess clothing. Now, we kind of have a 1 in and 1 out rule when it comes to clothing in the RV, and we just keep the clothing that we do own down to a minimum. If you've seen videos with my husband, Ben, you'll probably notice he wears a lot of the same shirts because he really likes those specific shirts. And my bet is that you probably have some things that you realize is your go-to or your favorites, and there's probably things that just don't fit or you don't wear anymore. Time to clear those out. Get them donated, have enough clothes to last 1 to 2 weeks. If you plan on doing a lot of boondocking, definitely go on that 2-week side so that you can go without doing laundry for a couple of weeks. But getting rid of the excess, realizing you don't need as much as you think that you need when it comes to RV life. Before we talk about the rest of the items that we got rid of, I wanted to take a minute to share about a service we will not be getting rid of anytime soon. And that is because literally every week our viewers are writing to thank us for introducing them to RV. Because of the near impossible campsite reservations, RV is actually booking for them. We're also seeing more alert services that are charging more than RV, but only monitor sold out campgrounds. I can't tell you how many times I've used these services in the past, get an alert at 2 a.m. and by the time I get to my computer to book the site, well, somebody else already snagged it. This is why we switched to using RV instead. We get more bang for our buck, and it includes its full travel agency booking services. So if you're looking to actually camp in one of these near impossible to get campgrounds, RV is clearly your best shot to get the spot. We've partnered with RV for a 10% discount for our viewers. Now, this is an exclusive discount, so be sure to check out gratefulglamper.com/RV or check out the link in the description below. And a huge thanks to RV for sponsoring this video. The next is duplicate items. Now, this is where I have been so guilty of this in a house environment, but things like having multiple frying pans, multiple saucepans, or think about this. If you have a coffee pot and you have a French press, do you really need 2 things that do the exact same job, and that is make coffee? Choose what you really need or what you really want, and then get rid of the rest, or better yet, don't even buy it. This also holds true for more things like clothing items, jackets, coats, mittens, hats. How many of those things do you really need at the end of the day? Next on the list is things that can't be folded down to make more space. One of the big things that we got rid of was our zero gravity chairs because they were huge and not compact. Another thing is an item like a full-size laundry basket versus a collapsible laundry basket. We have ditched items that we were not able to fold down and to create a smaller footprint when it comes to the RV. So next is too many pairs of shoes. I'm not really much of a shoe connoisseur. I know some people are, but we try to have basic shoes for each of us, a pair of tennis shoes, hiking boots, sandals, or flip-flop, and keep it to that. I really don't need 6 pairs of tennis shoes or 3 pairs of flip-flops or the river sandals and then another type of sandals. We just try to keep it very simple when it comes to shoes. Make sure everybody has a basic set, maybe a backup if we know we're gonna be somewhere where it's muddy. Now here's one thing that I think you're probably gonna find somewhat controversial. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think of this, but for us, we ditched the Big Blackstone and opted for the lighter adventure-ready version instead without the heavy lid. Now we found that the big one, while it was nice in some scenarios, was super heavy. It was super cumbersome. It was very much a pain in the butt to set up and put away all of the time. So we actually found ourselves then not using it to cook and cooking inside, or worse yet, wanting to just opt for the fast food option. And that is because it was just a ton of work to get out and set up to cook one meal and then put it back away. So going with the lighter adventure ready version has been perfect. It's easy to set up, it's easy to put away. And then we use the bamboo table from Lippert to set it on. Works great, not as cumbersome. Now here's something else that everybody told us that you're going to need. In fact, if you scroll through Instagram right now, I bet you will find several different people touting this particular product, and that is a patio or outdoor rug. We have one, it's still in the RV, but I can't tell you the last time that we actually got it out. In fact, what we've kind of found is that unless that you've got maybe really small kiddos that are gonna be right outside of the RV, well, we kind of found it to be pretty useless, especially when you're staying at campgrounds where the grounds are maintained. You're not dealing with tall grass, or even if you have a campsite where it's paved or mostly gravel, you really don't need the big, huge patio rug. So the next thing that we ditched is one of those things where it seems like a really good idea at the time. And that is these touch button lights that we installed in the walls of our RV when we renovated. And we actually replaced these rather ugly sconces that were in the wall with these button lights instead. These have not really been the best idea. You don't want light blazing out from the sides of the walls. It just isn't something that we've even used because it's so hard on the eyes, and there's plenty of lighting in the overhead roof. We actually just recently ditched all of those, and instead what we installed were some USB outlets from eTrailer. This has been great because not only are they 12 volt, which provides an electrical savings on that, but it's great having extra USB outlets, especially with kids, with all of the devices that are charged or run off of USB these days. That has been a much better idea. So save your money. Don't go for the button lights. Just trust us on that. Now, the last but not least thing that we ditched, and this is probably going to be somewhat controversial, but that is the ice maker that was inside of our refrigerator freezer unit. Now, we did a whole conversion on the refrigerator to a different cooling unit, and when we did that, we removed the ice maker that was in the freezer because for us, the space was way more valuable than having a machine to make ice, and we opted for a counter version of an ice maker instead. So that is something that you might want to consider, and we'll have a link in the description below for that because we're definitely enjoying it. So I'm gonna leave a link right up here for a video on our top RV accessories that we have purchased and we still use and love. Didn't think that they were garbage. If we don't see you out on the road or around the campground, we'll see you in the next video.